This video is sponsored by Squarespace. What's going on, guys? Vincent here from thecreativedojo.net. Welcome to another video. Today we're actually not in After Effects, we're not in Cinema 4D, we're not even in Premiere Pro. We're actually in a new application here called Cavalry, and this is kind of like the upcoming new 2D motion graphics alternative to After Effects. It's currently available in public beta. So we've seen glimpses of Cavalry in the past couple of years. It's been teased on like social media, Twitter, Reddit, Slack, Medium, all sorts of social media sites here. It's available for Mac OS and Windows, and again, it's available in recently public beta for you to try and download and kind of give them their feedback. And the whole idea is that it kind of overhauls the old legacy infrastructure core of After Effects, right? After Effects is pretty old, it's pretty dated. The inner core and the way After Effects works is kind of outdated. And it doesn't really fit the whole procedural live pipeline of motion graphics nowadays. And so because this is a new application built from the ground up, they kind of went around the kind of flaws of After Effects. And it's really focused on motion graphics in 2D. So not so much visual effects, but more like character animation, data visualization, and just motion design in general here. So this is some galleries of the things that people have created using Cavalry. And again, After Effects, it recently got features to kind of import CSV files, and you can use like third-party plugins like Templater to kind of bring in data. But Cavalry does a really great job at integrating live data from like Google Excel spreadsheets and CSV files, and you can pretty much import a lot of data and really use that data in a very streamlined process, very fast and easily, without any third-party plugins. So this is just one aspect here. There are tons of other features on Cavalry, which I'll link this website in the video description down below. It has like a kind of like a built-in cloner object for like Cinema 4D. So it has that, which will help a lot because in After Effects, it's very, very hard to do that without a lot of mess and layers and expressions, and it just clogs things down. There's a lot of like behavioral stuff, effector type stuff, some typography stuff. It's GPU accelerated, and there's a lot of other tutorials and links and other resources here you can read about. You can also check out the Medium page right here from the developers where they go over some cool stuff like features and whatnot. This is what I've been reading here. I've actually never interacted with the Cavalry application. I've never even really opened this application other than just to kind of sign in to Cavalry. But this is kind of like my first time opening it and really using it. So this is not going to be like a getting started tutorial. This is more of me just kind of walking through the interface, telling you guys what I think and my first impressions of it, because I really have no idea what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and start this journey together here. But this is Cavalry here, and as you can see, it looks a lot like After Effects. You have this whole project window here, familiar timeline, familiar icons, this lock icon, icon, color dropper. It looks like After Effects kind of in the forefront right here. And unfortunately, I see compositions, and I really wanted like a new alternative to like compositions, but I guess we're still stuck with compositions here. But it seems like Cavalry is a lot more procedural and non-destructive. So we'll see what's going on here. So let's go ahead and see what kind of options we have. We can create some stuff like primitives, backgrounds. It seems like these are some of the effector behaviors that we see here. Effects, a limited amount of effects, as we can see. But again, this is beta, so I don't really expect much. And some utilities, which seem very, very complex here, maybe for developers of some sort. Animation. I'm trying to figure out kind of where we set the project settings here. So I guess this is kind of like the path and where things render to. Let's see, set project doesn't work. You can import Google Sheets and assets and save. So let's just go ahead and hop right in and let's create a rectangle here. So cool, we have a rectangle. And then right off the bat, the editor control, the attribute editor right here looks a lot like Cinema 4D. The color, the kind of like the interface right here, the sliders, it kind of just looks like Cinema 4D. So right off the bat, it looks like an After Effects interface-ish with Cinema 4D level controls, which, is something that I like because I'm very familiar with that. So I guess we have basic position, data right here, rotation, clicking and dragging seems to work, scale, cool. Things that I expect, blending modes, opacity. Okay, deformers. Now this is where I think this is where you add kind of like your effectors like in Cinema 4D here. So there's a lot of stuff you can choose from here. I don't know why motion blur is here, but there's that. Shape type, maybe an arc. Okay. You can change the shape here. Kind of like shape layers in After Effects. Let's go back to rectangle. Let's go ahead and tone the scale down a little bit. I want to kind of experiment and play around and create kind of like a cloner object within Cavalry here. That's what I'm most excited about. Radius mode. Okay. So cool. This is that. We can go into fill. Okay. Disable the fill. Let's go ahead and mask, nothing here. Let's go ahead and add a stroke right here. Set to white. Let's go ahead and pick. This color picker is a little strange to me. Like black is over here. It's just kind of like inverted compared to, you know, most colors here. I'm gonna go ahead and create this kind of like blue stroke color here. Shaders. Okay, cool. Alpha, the width. Okay. Cap style. Okay, so it's kind of like Cinema 4D caps right here, round. Okay, round. Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's go ahead, let's trim. Okay, that kind of like a trim paths. Okay, I'm all about it. You can reverse the path, I guess. So let's go ahead and start with this kind of like fat rectangle here. I'm gonna go down, tone down the width right here. Let's go ahead and figure out how to add a duplicator, because I believe that is what we need here, kind of like their cloner. So this is a create a type element. Create a duplicator. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and create a duplicator right here. And I assume we drag this under it. Okay. So I know it has kind of like a Cinema 4D hierarchy. So in After Effects, things are kind of like in the same hierarchy. Here we have like a Cinema 4D hierarchy here. So you can actually group things together like that. I guess not here. So click on the duplicator. I see that it's here in the attributes editor. And we have some basic position stuff, scale stuff, deformers. Okay, motion blur, input shapes. Okay. I guess we drag our rectangle into the input shapes. Cool. Now, okay, now we have like a kind of like a cloner object here going on. Okay, I see the distribution, so we can create like a circle. All right. Fibonacci sequence, math, random effector. Okay, I like this right here. You know, if you've worked in After Effects, you know how pain in the butt it is to kind of create a lot of layers and control them. It gets really messy with expressions and a whole bunch of layers here. So it's really cool how it's like one layer, one effector or duplicator, and we have all this stuff right here to drive. So already it's looking a lot like Cinema 4D in my opinion. Let's go ahead and start with the grid. We'll maybe increase the size, okay? And let's increase the count. Okay, I think I see the original shape in here, so let's turn that off. All right, cool. Now we're making some progress here. Let's make a little grid, okay. Maybe just a little bit higher, maybe add one more. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so let's figure out how to kind of like animate this thing, because we have a grid, right? But what good is a grid if you can't really animate it? So we have shape position here. So I guess it's moving all of them at once, but I want to figure out how to move like them individually, but kind of offset them. So shape ID. Now some of this stuff I do recognize from the articles I've read, so I kind of know ish what to do. But not quite here. So shape position, right? I believe if you right click, yep, you can actually like affect all properties. So like in After Effects, most properties are keyframeable and stuff, but you can't really affect properties with other properties other than like pick whipping them and like altering their value itself. But I think here you can actually like add like effectors to like any properties. So for shape position, for example, I can add like a like an oscillate, right? And so where is that? Oscillate here. And as you can see, we have like the Cinema 4D hierarchy. And here you can control the oscillation, right? So if I just kind of scrub through, you can kind of see things are moving. Okay. Now it's all moving at once. which is not what I want, but it is moving, and you can play around with the strength. Okay, wave type, cosine, sine, tangent. All right, dope. Wave style, square, so more rigid. Okay, sawtooth. I like normal. And here's where we define our min and max, I guess. So I guess 0 and 15. I don't know. Just want some subtle motion here. Frequency. Let's bump it up to like 15 and hit play. I don't know what the shortcut keys are for the preview playback. But this is kind of, I guess, how you play it. It seems pretty responsive right now. So it seems like it's just playing live here. I kind of get like the hit film vibes. So the interface is pretty snappy so far. So let's go ahead and what does stagger do? Does that do exactly what I want? All right, let's test it out. So yeah, so we're actually getting a lot of staggering now, a nice little offset, which is, you know, this is what I kind of wanted to do right here. Yep, so looking pretty cool. Let's go ahead and pause that. And it seems like I can see multiple things in my attributes editor. So usually, like in After Effects and Cinema 4D, you only see the things that you're clicking. But here I can see like the oscillator, the duplicator, and my rectangle shape all in one go. So it might make it a little bit easier to kind of like, I guess, pick whip stuff right here, I guess. Okay, let's go back to our duplicator here, see what else we can do here. So you can actually offset the time of things moving, I guess, using this shape time offset. So we could add like, I don't know, a noise that would like randomize it a little bit, kind of like a random effector. I'm gonna undo that. Let's try something else here. Shape time offset, add behavior. It's all grayed out now. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, let's go ahead and delete the noise right here. Go to the duplicator. And this is the cool part, how we can add like a behavior, an effector to like any property here, which is cool. So let's add a stagger. And I hate how like it doesn't pop up. You have to like double click on it or something. Did that even add any more staggering? Let's see. We'll go ahead and increase the maximum. Okay, yeah, it's doing something here. And let's go ahead and hit play. So I guess we're adding like a double stagger here. Maybe we can tone it down to like, I don't know, 10 or so. We have a graph. Okay, graphs. Can't really add points to it, it seems. But we have some presets. Okay. And we can adjust the handles. You know, I'm all about the Bezier curves and stuff. Cool. I guess it kind of controls the staggering amount, or how it staggers and distributes that stagger. All right, so we have this stuff right here. How do I want to add some scale variation? So again, go to the duplicator. Let's see if we can just add another behavior here. We can add like a random, right? Boom. And now I think the scales are random. I think this applies it to the whole effector itself, but what I want is to apply it to the shapes, I think. Let's set this back at 1, and we go to the shape scale. I think this is what we need to do here. Shape scale, add behavior, add a random. There we go. So that is adding some randomization to the scale. And right now, it gets a little bit confusing to see everything at once. But so we'll set the scale minimum to like 0.75. There we go. And so now we have some variation in scale and variation in, I guess, staggering motion oscillation. So now we're starting to see the power of Cavalry here. The last thing I want to do is maybe add, let's see if we can add some color variation here. Is there like a color effector of some sort? I don't see any of that in the, let's see, in the duplicator settings here. There's no like duplicator shape color here. So maybe if we can offset the stroke color here. Now I did see something about the presets right here. So we have this little color panel, And by default, I think Cavalry ships with some nice little presets, which is nice. So if you're pretty bad at color, I guess you can pick some here. Let's see if is it like, is it like Ray Dynamic Color where you can select a shape and just double click on this? No. Nope. Maybe you have to click on the stroke color first. There we go. There we go. So you have to click on the stroke color and select your color and it will update here. All right, cool. So maybe we can add like a random effector to this color blend. Let's just see what happens if we select like a random effector onto stroke color. So random effector stroke color. It's like all black now, so maybe it's using like 0 to 255 RGB color. So let's go to 255. Okay. Oh, there's some color here, it seems, but it's like grayscale. Seed, offset, okay. Separate channels. There we go, some color here. So we added some randomized color offset. I guess you can animate the offset. How do I even keyframe things here? Let's see. This, nope. This little keyframe button. Yeah, there we go. So we can keyframe the offset. I don't know, go to the very end and just change the offset here. And we have like a wavy type square animation. So it's pretty cool how it all kind of condenses down to like 2 layers right here. Of course, we have like effectors here and stuff, but imagine if you had to like duplicate this square like 100 times, link it up with expression to control the cloner that way. That would be a huge pain in the butt in After Effects. And the fact that you can do this within, this application that quick is really, really, really cool. I'm not really sure how to add some nice color to this whole rectangle shape thing here. But maybe there is like a color effector that I'm not sure about. One last, let's go and play around with some text here. So create a text layer, see what they got for text. They didn't really talk about text too much in their application or in their marketing stuff here. But again, it looks like Cinema 4D where you just have a layer right here and you define the text in here. So we'll just keep it at Cavalry. So you can select your font. It doesn't display the font preview like After Effects does now. It doesn't display it in here, so that's interesting. We'll set it to medium. I don't know. We have some basic font size stuff, word spacing, vertical alignment, center. So some pretty basic controls for text. Force mono spacing, that could be pretty cool. I think there's a plugin for After Effects that does this by plugging everything to kind of force mono spacing for certain layouts. String manipulators here. We add string manipulator. Okay, it kind of like randomized it. Maybe this is like their text animators of some sort. So shuffle text. Oh, they have regular expressions. Okay, resize text, substring. Okay. Very developer friendly, I see. Resize transition text here. Mode percentage. Okay, so it seems to like, oh, okay. So we can define a final text here. So Cavalry, open beta. So if we kind of slide it through, it kind of just transitions to Cavalry, open beta. Okay, so a basic like text effector, I see. Shuffle text. Literally just shuffles it, it seems like, with some options. Okay, so basic text settings here. I know this is not all of Cavalry. I know Cavalry can do a lot more here. But this is just me messing around to see what it can do. So it seems like it's pretty easy to use to set up like a cloner setup here. And I really appreciate how you can actually affect individual parameters, add randomization, and add all sorts of effectors to any property you want. And it's fully editable here, and you can fine tweak it and define it. It is a little confusing just to kind of see all this stuff right here, and the fact that there's no like color differentiation, like things just kind of blend into this sea of gray that I'm seeing. So it's kind of like Cinema 4D where it's kind of like flat and dry. I guess that's most professional applications here, but I think like HitFilm does a great job at kind of like making it very easy visually to see what's going on. Same with After Effects. But here it's kind of like Cinema 4D, where it's kind of like dry and gray, but it works. It's very, very powerful. The whole attributes editor is very similar to Cinema 4D with the layout. So if you're familiar with Cinema 4D, this is very familiar to you guys. Here, once you shift over here to the actual workspace right here in timeline, it's very similar to the After Effects timeline, which is great because I hate the Cinema 4D timeline. And you have some basic, I guess, tools to draw stuff, create rectangles, stars, text, all that stuff. So, I haven't really explored this application a lot yet. Again, this is an open beta, so you can try it out for free. Go ahead and head to the link down below to try it out. But overall, I think that this application has a lot of potential to pretty much take over After Effects in terms of like 2D stuff here. I didn't do a good job explaining some of this stuff. But if you actually look at the features on the website and kind of just follow along and watch their stuff and read the documentation and stuff, this app is very, very powerful. And they have a very, very good idea as to where to take this application. Like, they know who they're targeting, and they know who the application is really made for. And they're really designing stuff to really make it work for those motion designers. And this is fantastic because this is going to be a lot better than After Effects for a lot of reasons. And so hopefully this will be kind of like the new kid on the block for 2D animation and motion design. I'm very curious to see how much they're going to charge for an application like this in the future, how it compares to After Effects, and how extensible it is for third-party plugins to be incorporated. Hopefully, it's not going to rely on a whole bunch of third-party plugins like After Effects. Before I go, I want to give a quick thanks to our sponsors over at Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to create an amazing website, whether it's for your store, online business, or portfolio. They have amazing themes to choose from, fully customizable so you can make it the way you want it to look like without having any coding knowledge required. They have awesome 24-hour support, and best of all, if you use the promo code DOJO at checkout, you can actually save 10% off your order and support the show. So check it out over at squarespace.com/dojo. Squarespace, the #1 place to create an amazing website. So that's pretty much it, guys. This has been my kind of like first impression, first interaction with Cavalry. Let me know what you guys think about this application, whether or not you think that it will kind of take over After Effects for motion design stuff, and whether or not you would like to use it in your workflow. Let me know down below in the comments. Subscribe for more videos like this. My name is Vincent Wynn from the Creative Dojo. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.